We have a federal agency that's aggressively hiring because they're not at capacity. They need help now. You can apply for many of these jobs today. This is happening in the USCIS, which is the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. They're currently at 21,000 full-time employees, but they're short 3,000 employees. So why do they need more people? One reason is because they handle over 40,000 requests for immigration benefits every day. The amount of backlog in this agency, it's huge. They've come out and said, even if they double their workforce, they're still nowhere near clearing their backlog. So what kind of backlog are we talking about? We're talking about over 1 million asylum cases that are pending. The only thing that they can do is leverage technology and hire more employees. Also, when it comes to case assistance, you can see on this graph how the numbers have been rapidly increasing. Where are these cases coming from? Well, the top 3 locations that are requesting assistance are Haiti, Mexico, and India. Without enough money from Congress, the way that this agency is able to fund their operations is by using the application fee. Now, when you think of an application fee, maybe you're thinking 20, 25, 50 bucks. No, we're talking about a lot bigger numbers than that. Check this fee chart. There's some I-9 forms that cost over $500, and the I-102 application cost over $400. And then if you look at the I-485, that cost over $1,000. But these fees, it's still not enough to support the workforce. And if you go ahead and look at USCIS, you can see their rankings, they have been improving. Just last year, they jumped in the rankings. Overall, they're coming in at 205 out of 459, and they're moving from 69 points to 73 points out of 100. One of the strongest areas in this federal agency is leadership. One of the lowest areas is employee feedback. So they've been hosting a lot more town halls in order to get that feedback from the employees to make it a better agency. Looking at USAJobs.gov today, there are a few dozen jobs currently open in the USCIS. There are actually 7 that are 100% remote. Over a third of these jobs are in administration. That means the 0300 job series. These jobs are program manager, management program analyst, and operations support specialist. But most of these jobs are for people that are already in the government or if they have a special hiring path, like veterans or individuals that are disabled, Schedule A. If you just look at the open to the public area, they're not in this job series. In fact, you're going to find jobs in the 1800 series, which is inspections, and the 0900 series, which is legal. This changes every single day. Probably October 1st, the start of the fiscal year, we might be seeing more job announcements, especially those jobs that are targeted for the open to the public community. If you're targeting your next job, at a minimum, you need to have your filters set right now, okay? So that means job series, location, salary, then save it. So when it's time to apply, you're not getting distracted by jobs that you're not interested in and you're not eligible for. USCIS, they do host hiring events around the country at different times. Check this site out. We can see here that there have been close to a dozen in-person hiring events in major cities across the country. You can also go to USAJobs.gov. There's an event tab. You click that and there's an online hiring event that happened less than a month ago. It covered positions in Miami, Puerto Rico, and Virgin Islands. If you want hiring events like this sent to you on a weekly basis, even hiring events that are not on USAJobs.gov, I push out a list of them every week. If you're interested in that, if you want me to send that to you, sign up to the free newsletter down below. I've spoke to some people that were immigration service officers within this agency, and they loved it. They loved their job. They loved the agency. One of the main reasons why was telework and remote work. There have been increasing opportunities to work from home because this agency is trying to reduce its footprint. It's getting rid of a lot of their buildings. Another thing, the promotion potential. A lot of these positions, they have promotional ladders built in. So you don't have to go looking for your next promotion. You can sit there, let's say GS9, 12 months later, you're a GS11. 12 months later, you're a GS12. That's a huge salary increase. We're talking about tens and tens of thousands of dollars from GS9 to GS12. So you can benefit from something like that within this agency. Now, just like any other government job, this position, you're going to be focusing on policy, on regulations, on researching. So it's going to be heavy in that regard. There's also a huge difference between working in a service center and actually working in a field office. More people prefer the service center than a field office because a field office can have more interactions with the public. Now, this could be a good or bad thing. Most people I know, they don't want to interact with the public that much because you never know what you're going to get. You're going to get a mixed bag. Some people have nasty attitudes and they don't care if you're a human being or not. They're just going to vent their frustration at you. Other people, they love it. They love being able to make an impact, to see that they're able to help another human being, another U.S. citizen, so they look for positions just like this. Okay, let's take a look at the Immigration Service Officer position. This one's in Dallas, Texas, with a salary range between $113,000 to $146,000 a year. To be eligible, you need experience developing training materials, providing training in research and writing. This one is in the 1801 job series. You would think from reading this position, it would be in the 1700 job series, which is education, because it mentions training so much. Half of it is talking about training, but it's still in the 1801, which covers investigation, enforcement, and compliance. Maybe they were thinking about the compliance section, like you need training in order to be in compliance, so that's kind of how they tied it in. I'm not sure. But if you were to target a job announcement just like this, you need to focus on those keywords: training, researching, and writing. If those words are not in your resume, you're probably not going to get referred. Even if you are, you might not get the interview. Also, there are some immigration service officer positions that have been eligible for overtime. So if you want to try to maximize your pay, you do get paid extra as you're doing overtime. Most government jobs is a 40-hour week. Some of them can be 45-hour week, but most of them are 40 hours. So if you're doing time above that, you're getting paid more. All right, so let's look at another job. This one is open to the public, so pretty much anybody with a U.S. citizen, they can apply. This is an asylum officer position. Salary here is $49,000 to $140,000 a year. This position is hiring in 7 locations, including California, Florida, New Orleans, Los Angeles, and Boston. If you look under the clarification section, we can see that this agency is using the direct hire authority for this job. This is probably great news for you because it removes traditional ranking and rating. It also takes away veterans' preference. So you're going to be evaluated on your own experience, on your own merit, and hopefully it'll move a little bit quicker. So this is the type of experience you need. You need to be able to analyze information and perform research to gather information. 99% of you have this experience. Half of you, you don't know that you have this experience, but you actually do. The 1% of people that are watching right now that do not have this experience is because you never held a job before and you never volunteered before. Now, I know nobody under 18 watches this channel, so most of you should have this experience. They're hiring multiple people for this position. So one of the main reasons why you would not get referred is if you do not have the keywords within your resume. You need to have the word analyze there, but not just analyze. Let's create a compelling story that can capture the attention of the hiring manager. So that individual says, hey, you know what? I want to interview that person. I read their first page. I saw a compelling story. This is the type of skill set and this is the type of individual we need on the team to help fix things that are going on around here. That's the type of mentality that you have. Don't have the mentality of I'm qualified. Why are they not calling me? Why am I not getting interviewed? Go beyond qualified and come over to the side of best qualified because that's where you need to be. One of the best things about this job announcement, it has a promotion ladder. So it goes from GS7 all the way up to GS12. So even if you came in on the lower end GS7, after 3 years, you would be a GS12. GS12s in most places, they make 6 figures a year. Now, the reason why you're able to do it in 3 years is because you jump GS8 and GS10. Administrative positions are able to jump those grades. That's why you can jump so high up there from GS7 to GS12. All right, if you're still looking for a federal government job, you could have a lot of questions on your mind. You could be wondering about the federal hiring process, maybe about USAJobs.gov, or is one government job better than another? I did a live stream recently. I answered over a dozen of those type of questions that could be on your mind. If you're interested in that, I want you to watch this video next. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please click like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.